Hey you guys, welcome back. I hope you're doing well. So today's video is very much an impromptu video. I didn't plan to film this video today, but lately I have been getting a lot of comments from people with everything that's going on in the world right now, but also just in general, how to stay positive and optimistic on difficult days, or when the world overwhelms you and you just don't know how to stay happy and you kind of go into that downward spiral of feeling sad and blue and just having an off day. And I get these questions so often lately that, you know what, I decided to film a video today. So here it is. I have some things that help me whenever I feel this way on difficult days to at least try to stay positive and optimistic. And also some of these things work like preventative. So there are preventative self-care things that I do to stay positive and to stay optimistic even during difficult times. Of course, I'm not always positive, I'm not always optimistic, so I'm not trying to be preachy here in any way. Feeling blue and having an off day is all part of the deal. I have them too, so I'm not saying that I am a happy-go-lucky person all the time, but I know that these things do help me. I am having a cup of, let me show you, mugicha. And this is Japanese barley tea. I drink this cold and it is so refreshing on hot days. So join me if you want, grab a cup of coffee or tea for yourself and let's talk about it. So first thing, I know I talk about this all the time, but it's just because it is so important. The type of content that you consume, the news, social media, people you follow, people who post things on your feed. It is so important, especially in the mornings when you wake up. I know for me, my day can take a complete turn for the worse if I happen to see something on my phone or on TV that has an impact on me. And you know, if I have a morning where I'm just focusing on me, myself, what I'm going to do today, do some healthy morning habits, I'll leave a video right there if you're interested. Usually they go fine, but sometimes I will pick up my phone, see something, it'll completely ruin my morning and sometimes even my day. That is just a power that it has, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this. So two things that bug me the most and that have the most negative impact on my well-being and how I'm feeling are, first off, just things that happened in the world that make me want to cry. Just the fact that the world is full of shitty things and there's nothing I can do about it. All kinds of bad things are happening to good people in the world and it sucks. And I'm not saying to completely boycott the news. You have to decide what works for you. But I know for me, if I watch the news, especially in the morning, and I see all these headlines about people dying and all these awful things happening, it'll destroy me, at least for a little while. So that is one thing that I'm very careful with. Of course, you need to stay informed, but I try not to go further than just staying informed. And second thing that always has also a big, or not always, but sometimes has a big impact on me is either something that will make me feel insecure about, for example, my body. So if I see like really beautiful Instagram pictures, I'm not on Instagram, but sometimes you'll see pictures like that that make me compare myself to others. And you know, I am pretty confident as a person, but I think that is also partly because I don't compare myself to others that much, and I am very careful with inviting things into my life that make me compare myself to others. So for example, for me, in my case, sometimes I will open up my YouTube app and see like a video from someone else that was posted around the same time I posted my video, but their video went viral and mine didn't. And you know, that's fine. I want people to be successful. I am happy for that person, but sometimes it does make me feel insecure because then I start to wonder, like, why didn't my video do that well? Or what am I doing wrong? Or things like that. And one of the things that I feel helps, I have two things to share actually when it comes to comparing yourself to others. The first thing is something that my friend told me, actually Sarah from Abundantly Minimal told me one time, and I thought she was absolutely right. She said, Ask yourself the question if you would like to switch lives with that person. Because everything is a package deal. Their success is not just their success, it is a package deal. It's part of their life, and it's a part of all the good things and the bad things in their life, just like it is with mine. And then I think, no, I would never want to switch lives with anyone. I love my life, and I'm so happy with so many things in my life. So no. And that immediately already lessens my professional jealousy that I sometimes still have. Second thing is asking yourself, how is their success influencing you, like in real life? Because more often than not, if someone else is successful in any way, for example, if your friend is like really into fitness and they are crafting this amazing body, for example, their success is not limiting you in any way. It's not like you cannot have something because someone else has it. So you get to do whatever you want, and how successful someone else is not like lessening your chances in any way. Most of the time that's true. So that's another thing to think about, like, okay, but the world has enough. There is enough, this mindset of abundance. Like, it's not we're all having a certain cake, and if I have a bigger piece, that means that someone else will have a less big piece. It's not like that. There is enough to go around for everyone. And if you are really into that mindset of abundance instead of the mindset of fear that someone else's success will reflect negatively on you, that helps a lot. So these two things, when it comes to comparing yourself to others, and in the bigger picture, just watch the people you follow, watch the content that you consume, watch the news, or even shows on Netflix. The things that we see really influence the way we see the world, because that is how we perceive the world often, through online content. So be sure to have that in check. And if you notice something is negatively impacting you, think about unfollowing someone, or at least muting their profile so you don't see their pictures on your feed all day. Things like that. And before we continue to the next one, I quickly want to thank everyone who joined me on Patreon. I started a Patreon page a couple days ago, and it's been amazing. I'm having so much fun with it. I just filmed my first ever Patreon video this morning, and thank you to everyone who joined me. It means the world to me. And if you would like to join too, support the channel as well as get access to exclusive content, then go to patreon.com/simplehappyzen, and I'll also leave the link in the description. So now that we have talked about which content not to consume, or at least especially in the mornings when you start your day, let me also talk about content that I do consume that helps me on difficult days. So what I like to do is watch inspirational, uplifting content and things that make me feel like life is all right. And that can even be music, really beautiful music with inspiring lyrics that make me feel like, okay, good people do exist in the world. It's not just bad stuff out there. There's so much good stuff to be found. Also, something else I like to do actually is watch things with cats, dogs. I love it. It makes me feel happy. Something that makes me smile. Funny cat stuff, funny dog stuff, cute animal stuff, like in general, it always brings a smile to my face. So find whatever content uplifts you, makes you feel positive, better, like everything's all right with the world. And if you do have something, maybe you could seek it out on those difficult days. So Vera's suggestion, obviously, for when you're having a tough day, watch animal videos. It'll solve all your problems. Something else I like to do on difficult days, and you can tell definitely that I am an introvert from this point. What I like to do is going into like a little pod. And I don't mean this literally, of course. Also, you could do that, of course. It's a nice yoga move. But what I mean is figuratively. I like to kind of take a moment, if I have some time at least. Sometimes this is impossible, but if it is, I like to shut out the world for a little bit and go into my little healing, restorative place and do whatever it is that I need to do to feel better and to kind of not think about whatever it is that is bugging me. Whatever it is you need to do. Sometimes I also like to go in the kitchen, make something nice, healthy, lovely, tasty, something to take my mind off it for a little while. And something else I find very important on all days, but especially those, is to not lose perspective and to focus on gratitude. And I don't mean this to sound preachy, because I know it can sound really preachy, and that is not how I mean it at all. But I do know that sometimes things can make you lose perspective, and it can make you lose sight of the fact that you are very lucky, or you have a lot of things to be grateful for as well. And sometimes it can even happen that something as little as missing the bus, or things like that, are going to spiral you into having a difficult day, when in fact, like, it's not a big deal in the bigger scheme of things if you miss the bus, or if something happens to you at work, or if someone says something, or all these things that are going to make you feel badly. It's important not to lose perspective. And the way I do it is just whenever I do feel like something is going on in that sense, I try to just remind myself, okay, just look at the big picture. I am healthy. I live in a wealthy country. I have everything that I need. I have people in my life who love me. I am actually getting a little bit emotional now, but I can go on for hours and hours listing things that I can be grateful for and that I am so lucky to have, and that immediately restores my faith and just the faith that things can turn around, and also just know that, okay, this is not a big deal. It's all not a big deal. I am so blessed. I have so much to be grateful for. And also, like, I haven't, for example, lost anyone very dear to me in my life before. I'm very lucky in a lot of ways. So I know that it's easy for me to talk about these things, but I also know that they work, at least for me, and I think they can work for a lot of people too. So whatever it is you have going on, maybe you could see if you could find some perspective and find some things to be grateful for, and see if that changes your mood at all. And something else that I find important is to not take yourself too seriously, and to see life with some humor. And when you make a mistake, just laugh it off. You're not perfect. You don't need to be. It's okay to laugh at yourself. I make so many mistakes and I try to laugh them off. I think it's important not to take yourself too seriously. And of course, you can just give things your all in life and really go for it and work hard and also be confident, all these things, without taking yourself too seriously. And if you can practice just a little humor in life and laugh at the things that are going wrong, it is such a magical thing, and I think it's so powerful, and it's something that I always try to practice because it is really a magical way to enjoy your life so much more, to stay more positive and optimistic when things don't go a certain way. And actually, I am not an optimist by nature. I used to be very much a pessimistic person, and I've always had the notion of, if I keep my expectations low, then things will not disappoint me. And now, I think probably the last 10 years or so of my life, I have become much more of an optimistic, glasses half full kind of person. And that is because I realized that life is so much more fun if you just expect things to go right and if you expect good things to happen. And when you do get disappointed, you'll laugh it off, I think life is much more fun if you're more of an optimist than if you are more of a pessimist. And I also think that more good things can happen if you are an optimist, because you will see opportunities more as they arise, and you will have the confidence and the optimism and the positivity to actually go for it and try and give it your all. Sometimes I will have a bad day or a bad morning, just wake up feeling grouchy and annoyed at things. And this is not like sadness, but really like irritation. You feel irritated, you feel annoyed at things. And something that I like to do on those days that I find really does work is doing things more slowly. For example, on those days when I wake up and I do my things, and then I, for example, unload the dishwasher, I'll take out the thing that holds like cutlery and stuff and just smash them in the drawers, feeling irritated. I'm not doing it slowly and mindfully, which is something that I now try to do on those days. And it can slow down your irritation. I don't know, I find this hard to explain somehow, but I try to walk more slowly, do things more slowly. It's not like I am purposefully doing it extremely slow, but I am slowing down my movements a little. I'm not trying to rush, and I'm not trying to multitask. And of course, I'm really curious, please share in the comments which things you like to do when you're in a bad mood or when you're having a difficult day to stay positive and optimistic. Is there something that you do that helps? Please share that in the comments. So I want to talk about 2 more things today that help me. And the first is to have an influx of positivity into your day. So what I mean by that is to find something that lights you up, that makes you feel alive, that makes you feel on top of the world, or even just a little bit better on those difficult days. Because sometimes, I know for me, I can withdraw a little bit too much when I'm having a tough time. I can go into my own little pod, like I talked about earlier, which isn't a bad thing, it's a good thing. But too much of that isn't going to help you any either. You don't need just healing from the bad stuff. We also need some good stuff, some fun stuff that makes us feel better. Some kind of activity that gets your juices flowing. Music, nature, friends, whatever it is, find something like an influx of positivity. And the last thing I want to talk about right now is doing something kind for someone else. I know for me, sometimes, like I said earlier, when I'm having a tough day, I can go within myself and forget about the fact that there's a world around me. There's people around me. They're going through their own stuff. And sometimes it helps to try to do something kind for someone else, to help someone out. It can make you feel better. It can make them feel better. It's just a win-win situation. So I hope this video answered some of your questions. Like I said, I've been getting a lot of comments lately, and that's totally understandable given the situation that we are in now. And you know, lastly, I just want to say, like, I'm not an expert and I'm not a happiness guru. I'm not a therapist, you know, all these things. I'm just sharing my experiences here. I hope it was helpful for you. And I trust that there is something in there for everyone. I do feel that that would probably be the case. And thank you so much for watching, for staying with me for this impromptu video that I did not prepare or script. For once, I usually prepare my videos all the way from beginning to end, and now I just kind of jotted down some bullet points and I went for it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you would like to see more videos, then you can go to patreon.com/simplehappyzen. I like to open up a little bit more about things on there. And have a really nice day, and I will see you again soon on YouTube with a new video. Bye bye.